Styles, and we buy and sell stuff for our two antique booths and the two antique malls that we're in. Maumee Antiques in Maumee, Ohio, and Plaza Antiques in Lincoln Park, Michigan. And I have got a treat for you today. We are going up to the Michigan Antique Festival in Davisburg, Michigan. Now, I have always wanted to go to this show, and for some reason, it just seems like something always was happening this weekend, and I never could go. But today is the day, and we are heading up there. We got a little over an hour drive, so come along with us. And we are coming in to Springfield Oaks County Park, and that's where our show is today. And we are super early, but there is a lot of action already going on over here. So it looks pretty cool. Can't wait to get in there and look at the cars already coming. And it opens at 8 and we're here about 7:10. So this is going to be part 1 of 4 in a series that we're doing for the Michigan Antique Festivals. And we have been sponsored by the Antique Festivals, and we're pretty excited about that. So the festival that we went to was May 6th and 7th, and the hours were 8 to 6 on Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Admission was $10, and kids 11 and under are free. So take a look at all this traffic. It was like this all day. The people were coming from everywhere. So this is a really good show. It's a really big show. That's why we had to do 4 in this series, to make sure that we got in the most amount of content as we could. So we're going to go now, and we're going to go talk to Matt and Tara, and they are the organizers of this event, and see what they have to tell us.
This is the Michigan Antique Festival's 55th year.
Wow. And how long have you folks been doing it?
We've been doing it for about 25 years now.
Oh, wow. That's a long time. So how many dealers do you think you have here?
This weekend, well over 400 dealers.
Just come on out, rescue a piece of American history. We'd love to see you.
So we're going to start junking here in the barn in the very back corner, because I hear this is the best stuff in here. So we're going to go check this out first and see what we can find. So we're going to head on into the Ellis barn, and this barn was constructed in 1884. It was originally on Dix Hwy in Clarkston, Michigan. It was relocated at the Springfield Oaks County Park in 2005. And there is 2 levels to this barn, and there was dealers, of course, on both levels. And a lot of the very fine antiques were in this barn. So this was a really good spot to start looking at all the different things that we could purchase and show you folks. So here was a really nice furniture dealer. He had a lot of bigger pieces, but wow, there were some really nice oak pieces that he had redone.
Well, I wanted to resume being an antique dealer, so I quit doing that. And I do limited work for clients that have bought pieces. I do a lot of their pieces.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there's a Facebook page, and it shows all the pieces you see here in the process.
Okay.
Everything here has been photoed on my Facebook page for being restored.
Oh, I love that lead glass one. That is
Rescued
beautiful.
that out of it was John Whalen Auctions. A friend of mine bought it. It was out of a storage building. John Whalen's client bought it 30 years ago for $3,000.
Holy moly.
And they left it in his collection in a storage building right in the same town that the auction is, in Neapolis, Ohio. Mm-hmm. And the piece kind of weathered in the building for 30 years. The man passed away, and the family had John re-auction off the estate, so we bought the piece. And I'm selling it here for $25, completely restored.
Wow. Well, we're going to go take a little clip of that.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I've got photos of all the rest of it. I had to take the glass and everything to get the key out of there.
It's just gorgeous. If I had the room, oh my goodness. Just beautiful. So here's another jewelry dealer that had beautiful jewelry. She had all her pins there on a mannequin, which is a good way to display your pins. And she had some very nice rings, and all the costume rings were $10 and under, and the sterling ones were a little bit higher, but I thought the prices were very reasonable, and she had a huge selection. So of course I have to go through it to make sure there's nothing I don't want to take home, because I did take quite a few things home from this show. So let's take a look at all these rings. How much are your rings? Are they all different?
10 and under for the costume, and then I have sterling is 20 and up in this
Okay.
case. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Not a bad price. And here's some of the pins that she had. She had tables and tables full of jewelry in this area, and we're still in the barn here taking a look. And look at all these pins. So nice. This was a good way to display them, to put them underneath the glass so they wouldn't be ruined by anybody. But yet you could still see them really good and still see the prices. Beautiful stuff. I think she might have even had more than me in the jewelry department. And here's another area where they made some homemade pillows, and they look like they made some of them out of some quilt fabric. That was kind of neat. And some glassware, and with another quilt on the back there. And this was a little button project that actually I'm going to attempt to do maybe in the future. This dealer had all kinds of various soaps and all kinds of scents.
So this is called Edison pipe lights. I build lamps out of old gauges and meters. I put LED lights in these old meters, kind of bring them to life. And they all have many functions. For instance, you can see here as I drop the dimmer, the voltage also drops, so you kind of get to see how electricity works there. And then on this gauge here, there's right here a touch switch, and you can dim it down, make it bright, turn it off and on just with the touch there. So yeah, that's what I do. This has a cell phone charger on it. It's also got a
That's cool.
AC meter on it. And these also have little night lights on them. You see that light there? It operates independently there.
And what's the name of your business?
Edison Pipe Lights.
Okay, and do you have a website or a
Well,
Facebook?
we're on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook at Edison Pipe Lights. And also, I don't have a website, so.
That's okay. That's okay. So we can follow you there. That
Yes,
would be great.
yeah, on Facebook,
Beautiful
please.
things. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you.
Okay. And we're still in the barn. This is the lower level of the barn. Ooh, I see Disney. A little night light. That's pretty cool. And these glasses right here, my friend's mother had them in her cupboard for probably about 30 years. And there they are. Isn't that neat? And here's some various door stops and some wood objects and some nice old blocks and even some Easter bunnies. And you can sell holiday stuff pretty much any time of year because people buy that whenever they see it, especially at an antique show, because sometimes you don't see those items again, so you want to pick them up then. This was also in the barn, and they made birdhouses and had some architectural salvage. And there's a pretty picture of some flowers and books and some figurines and some old bottles. And there's a nice tin displayed in an old piece of barn wood. Here's their birdhouses again, a little bit more close up. Oh, they did a nice job. They're really beautiful. And this lady had Watkins that she was selling. And we put her website on here, or her email. Excuse me. And that way, if you were interested, Watkins is not easy to find. I usually can only find it in Amish country. So it was nice that there was someone here that actually sold some of that. And here's a booth that sells various soaps. Looks like she makes. Smells really good in here. If we had smell-o-vision, you could smell it along with me. And here's another dealer in the barn, and they had a lot of really old vintage pictures and some signs. And they had some linens there, some various different towels, and nice old vintage clothing hanging up there. And here was a same dealer with various other objects they had, with some wood items. It almost looks like an old hairdryer down there next to that. Oh, it might be just a suitcase next to the other suitcases. It's a cute shape, though, that round shape. And a nice old chair. And here's an overview of the second floor of the barn. Lots of furniture up here. And a variety of dealers again. And here's some very beautiful jewelry again. There was lots of jewelry throughout, but I think probably the more fine pieces were maybe in the barn. For obvious reasons, you don't want to get this stuff out in the weather. And they had it displayed nicely in all these showcases. Ooh, that looks like a good showcase, doesn't it? Looks like there might even be some sterling in there. How nice. This is Woodward Antiques. Very nice. This is Veronica's Arts.
Yes.
Are you Veronica?
Yes, I am.
Your stuff is very beautiful.
Thank you.
Here's a close-up of some of Veronica's pieces that she makes. She uses lots of stones and lots of driftwood. She is quite creative. Great idea to do signs with all these things, with the letters. That one's nice. Tell me what the name of your business is.
Past treasures.
Half's Treasures. And we're going to put it right up here so everybody can see it. We're going to take a little clip of your booth and see all the beautiful things. Oh, here's some nice candle wick over here. And I believe I want to say that's Queen Mary. I'm not sure though. This for sure here is oyster and pearl. And this is cherry blossom. Some beautiful depression glass also. And here's another dealer. What a pretty blue table there. It's a good way to display your furniture. Is put it right on the table. You could see it really nicely. So we are here in the upper barn at the Michigan Antique Festival, and we're going to be talking to
Barbara Howland from Not My First Rodeo.
Oh, I love that name. And tell me what you do with all this beautiful furniture.
I find it, I repurpose it, I make my own chalk paint.
And it is beautiful. Do you do all the pieces in your booth?
I do. My husband helps,
Definitely. You need help, especially with these big pieces.
especially moving them.
Definitely moving them. So let's take a good shot of all your things. And what size bed is this?
This is a king-size bed.
Wow, that's beautiful. Now, is it an older piece or a newer piece?
I'm not exactly sure the age. I think it's probably a newer piece.
Okay, but you just dressed it and made it beautiful.
Yes, I try to keep everything out of the landfill.
Definitely. We all do, don't we? Okay, well, thanks for talking with
Yes.
us.
Have a great day.
And here's some more jewelry and some fountain pens and a really beautiful set of china. I don't typically buy china because it's hard to display it nicely, and they had the room to display it really nicely. It's nice if you can put it right on the dining room table. It looks so much more beautiful that way than stacked up in a corner. So I think that's part of the reason that I don't sell china as much, is because of the way it's displayed. It's very important to display that right. And here's some more pillows that someone made, and a variety of wood objects, and a nice garden sign. Pretty display. Old pots there. And here's some nice pictures, nice white pictures. Some of them probably are ironstone, I'm thinking. And here's an overview of some nice furniture that they have upstairs. Looks like a variety of refinished pieces. And now we're going to go outside, and there was rows and rows of dealers outside, and we pretty much saw everybody. So we're going to go through this and show you what we saw. Now there's 3 more videos, so you're going to see some in this video and a lot more in the next couple videos. So and in our very last video, we're going to show you lots of toys, and we're going to show you the car show that they had. So we're going to go through each of the booths here. Of course, I was shopping through the whole thing, and look at that. A dish for $1. My kind of price. That was mine. They had colored stickers to kind of tell you what the prices were. That's always a good sign that things are really reasonable. So that one definitely went home with me. And the Mickey Mouse ears were pretty cool too. This is Madrid here, isn't it? I think that's what it's called. Is this Madrid?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you. And here's a nice $2 table. That's right up my alley. There was a lot of nice little objects there. There's nice plates and various bowls and some platters that I kind of looked at. The only thing about platters, they take a lot of room. So I kind of passed on those, even though that was a really good deal. And here's some nice Corningware. And over here is Iris by the Jeanette Glass Company. And this is in the iridescent color. And there's some nice milk glass. And here's also some Fire King. And I've never seen this pattern. King Meadow Green Fire King by Anchor Hocking. That was one I've never seen. And this is the Fire King Sapphire Blue Casserole Lid. Cool. They're only $3. Whoa. It just shot right out at you. Wow, those are really neat. I like the fish one. They're cool. And here's some various horns and some furniture and garden shed stuff. Check out this set. Beautiful. It even has the cart to go with it. Here's a nice outlook of some of the areas that we went to outside. And this could have taken a whole day in itself. There were so many cool things. We had some blow molds here and nice tool chests that were done in wood. And all kinds of things. Something for everybody. There's some bicycles. If you can't find it here, I don't know what to tell you. They had it all. It was really good, especially if you're looking for those odd collectibles that you use for your own personal collection. Here was some nice barn wood. And they had various lengths that you could use for your projects at home. And this young lady here had a sale to benefit her mission. And she's helping those in need around the community. So that was pretty nice to see, especially with young folks. There was a nice old Santa. I used to collect those old Santas. I kind of lost most of them during a flood. So I'm kind of looking to replenish those over time. It's going to take me a while, though. And here was a nice perfume. Ooh, a little bit too much for my budget, but nice if I wanted it for my personal collection. That would have been awesome, but not necessarily to make a profit on. And there's a nice stack of books. And some figurines. Things are flying.
Yeah. We had a bit of a challenge with the wind this morning.
Yeah. At least it's not raining.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's beautiful right there.
Yeah, our daughter makes this stuff up.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, well, she's a forensic scientist for the Michigan State Police, so she...
Wow. These pieces of jewelry were definitely one of a kind, and they were beautifully done with old pictures and old elements. They were really nice. And here's some more depression glass. This probably has uranium in most of those pieces. You can almost tell just from the sunlight. So we took a look at all those. And at the end there was a piece of Princess from the Anchor Hocking Company. And over here we have various glass. There's a piece of Moroccan amethyst there, those little stack of bowls, and there's also a center dish. So if you want to learn more about depression glass, be sure to see our other videos on depression glass and elegant depression glass and collectible glass from the 40s to the 70s, because we have very specific information on that. So I looked through these rings, and of course I had to buy a couple of these. $3 a piece. That was a bit of a no-brainer. So I always checked the shank, and that one there was beautiful. That was one of them that I bought right there for sure. And I kept going back to this abalone one. I didn't like the way the shank looked on that one, so I kind of passed on that one, but I liked the way the front looked. This one was neat. It almost looked like the stone was real. It was like a light purple. It was beautiful. So I ended up buying that one too. And that one I put back because she had 2 trays. I mean, $3 each. You can't go wrong on that. because I usually make about $10 a piece on those costume rings. But the main thing you got to do is you got to look at the bottoms and make sure the color hasn't worn off on the other under part of the ring, because that's typically what happens when they've been used over time. So that one was a pretty one too. That one I debated on. I probably should have got that one. You know, sometimes when you watch these videos later, you think, what the heck was I thinking? I should have bought a lot more of those. I don't know why I didn't, but I ended up only getting a couple. And there's some nice candle holders and some old Pepsi bottles. And those planters there are coming really in style. I've been buying a lot of those lately, and they've been good sellers. Here's some nice old dolls. And here were some toys here. And like I said, in our 4th video, we're going to be covering lots of toys. And here's a piece of hobnail, milk glass by Fenton. And lots of figurines. That's usually the stuff I deal with. This is called the Florence figure, and they made them on various different ladies, and they all had a name to them. And they're pretty pricey these days. So if you find these reasonable, you should pick them up because they are really nice. And here is some lady head vases. And those I happen to collect on my own. And same with the purses. That was a beautiful purse with a lucite handle, probably from the 40s, 50s. And $25 was not a bad price. I should have picked up on that. And if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like and subscribe to us. And here is a big table full of jewelry right up my alley. Ooh. It was fun to look through it on. Their prices were pretty reasonable, I gotta say. And I probably should have bought a lot more than I did. But it was a big show, so I definitely wanted to shop around first and then go back to the certain dealers. But wow. And the lady that ran this booth told me that they usually bring just all jewelry, and they had like a double booth at least. And they must have a ton of it. And I thought I had a lot till I saw them. I don't have nothing compared to these ladies. they really got the jewelry. Of course, if I spread it all out, maybe it would look like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, so they had a lot of nice things. And then they had, on the back side of their booth, they had all these toys. There were some nice old Fisher-Price toys. And the bags of Little People have gotten kind of pricey these days. Even the modern ones have gotten a little bit pricey. So those are good to pick up if you see them. Especially those old sets like that. And they had bags of buttons. There were some nice little cars. And more toys. And in with all these toys, look what I found for $3. Can you believe it? A piece of Fenton with cranberry and milk glass. And it was perfect. And buddy, I picked that up quick. I'll tell you that. That was mine, and it came home. So what a deal. The daughter was kind of yelling at the mother saying, why did you make that so cheap? But I think she was tired of hauling it around because it was so fragile. But hey, I will haul it around with no problem. So that was probably the best buy of the day. So we have some more salt and pepper shakers here. And a nice red vase. And lots of lighthouses. This was a pretty display, and there was some a variety of white and off-white things done with the aluminum pieces. And here's another dealer that I bought some things from. I bought a pair of crystal earrings, and I bought several rings from this dealer. So, and they were really reasonable. I think the earrings were only $2, and the rings were like $3 a piece. So that was a good buy. And here's some wire objects. And some metal things. And these rugs were super reasonable. I want to say that they were only like, I don't know if that said $8, but they were $8 or $10. That was really reasonable. Those rag rugs a lot of times are made by hand. So that was a good buy if you needed one. And there was some old Tupperware there. And some nice old bottles. And this witch I debated on. She would have been really cute to take to the vintage market in October. But I ended up passing. I probably should have got that too, because that would have definitely brought in the crowds because it was so cute. And here's a little bit of furniture. And some pictures here. It's tin signs, porcelain signs. And they had a ton of vintage clothes. I'll have more pictures and videos of it in the next few of the series. But I'm telling you, if you wanted to buy vintage clothes, this is the place to come. And vintage clothes are very hot these days, and they sell really well. So if you can find vintage clothes for very reasonable, you better pick them up, because they are really good sellers, especially the stuff from the 70s and 60s and 70s, and even the really old stuff, and good designers and those types of things. Now, this person here had all these bins of jewelry and bags. And let me tell you, I could have spent the day going through all this stuff. But obviously, I didn't have that much time. But I kind of fished through it a little bit and found a few things. But man, did they have the stuff. And that is fun all day to play in those kind of boxes. You never know what you're going to find in there. And as I look, I think, ooh, why didn't I get that? Or why didn't I get that? But it's so much fun for me going through all these things. Some people are overwhelmed by it, but I think it's great fun to dig through a big box of jewelry and bags. So we fished through all of this pretty quickly, just to see if there was anything really obvious that I had to have. And like I said, look at all of it. There was some nice crystal earrings there. And they were $5, which is not a bad price at all. I usually charge between $5 and $7 for those. So those would have been nice to keep for myself, but not to necessarily resell. So I passed on some of those crystal earrings, even though they were a really good bargain. So when I buy things to sell, I have to usually be able to triple my money. And there was a nice Disney pin, but it had Dolores on it. It was cheap. It was only $1, but it had the name Dolores on it, so I passed on that. So if you see me passing on things, it's usually because I can't triple the price, which is a lot to ask for at an antique show. So, but you do find it. We found it in the cranberry dish. Citrine?
Citrine, yeah.
Oh, I've never seen a citrine one. That's cool. Is this rose quartz right here, the pink? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, of course, this is amethyst. Beautiful. And look at all these wire things and these arches. And this clothing was so cool. She had sewn on various rock artists on different flannel shirts. Those were super cool. And here's a nice display of some old. And there's my Easy Bake Oven. Old toys. And I wanted to find an Easy Bake Oven. And I've seen 2 of them in this video that I did not see when I was there. Boy, did I miss out. I got to pay attention a lot more, because I would have picked up on one of them 2 for sure. So I would like to do another YouTube on an Easy Bake Oven, but we shall see. And these 2 ladies were very nice, show us all their wares, and they didn't have a company, but they were doing this for themselves, selling some things they had around their house, and they had lots of cool stuff, and it was from all eras. And there's a nice Pyrex dish there, and some glassware. These were cool too, and I debated on buying these because it's a whole set of Disney flatware. It was kind of cute, but I ended up passing. They were like $3 a piece, which wasn't real bad. And there's some more old Tupperware there, and lots of Barbies. Oh, it's a little girl, Sophie. So for our next 3 videos, you're going to see all kinds of stuff on the toys that they had. They had a barn just full of toys. So we're going to go through that along with the cars. And also there is I believe there was 7 buildings there. So like I said, we had to do 4 videos to get everything in. So there was a lot of cool things to see, and buildings just full of antiques and collectibles to look at. And all kinds of neat things. Like I said, it's more than just an antique show. It's a festival. There's entertainment. There's car show. There's all kinds of activities for you to do. Lots of good places to eat. And you'll see more of those in our next 3 videos. So be sure to watch all 4 videos, because there's just so many good things to see at this show that I want you to be aware of all the neat things that you could do when you come here. And here's part of the car show that we went to, and we got lots of footage of that for you car enthusiasts. They had some really nice old vehicles there, really souped up. So the next show they'll be putting on will be June 3rd and 4th in Midland, Michigan. So this is Lou from Lou's Antiques saying goodbye, and we'll see you again. Bye.